are now less than a week away from Gulf South Conference basketball, and for Delta State, the first 3 games are all on the road, and they are against tough opponents. The Statesmen and Lady Statesmen will be tested right away. The men wrapped up non-conference play on Saturday, December 7th, hosting Miles College at Walter Sillars Coliseum in Cleveland and looking for a 7th straight win. DSU jumps out to an early lead. Freshman Devin Schmidt adds to it when he sees the defender has backed off. That 3 is good for Schmidt. Statesmen are up 10-0 about 4 minutes in. A few minutes later, the ball gets to Mike Weems in the corner. He sinks another 3 for the Statesmen. It's 17-4 now in the first half. DSU working towards a 20-point lead with 8 minutes still to go. That was Cornell Knight passing as he's falling. Alistair Chisholm finishes 25-9, Statesmen leading now. Schmidt out and running this time, gets the layup, draws the foul. Score is now 27-9 after Schmidt's effort. At halftime, DSU is holding Miles to just 11 points. It's a 29-point lead with a 40-11 score. Second half now, that was Knight, coast to coast for the bucket, 44-13. Statesmen leading now. 16 minutes left on the clock. Schmidt has found a rhythm from beyond the arc, puts up another 3-pointer, 34-point lead for DSU, leading 49-15. With Delta playing this good, you had to know this was coming. Off the pass from Knight, Mike Washington throws down the dunk. That made it a 40-point lead with 11 more minutes of game time to go. Off the miss on this one, the ball gets tipped to Knight. He starts to set up a play, but he sees a hole, drives the lane. Cordell with the basket, and he draws a foul. He makes it a 3-point play. It is 70-27, Delta State. Jack Madgen, normally the go-to shooter, but here he drives baseline. No one stops him. He goes under the basket, lays it in backwards, 47-point lead. Statesmen up 76-29. Time for the starters to sit, but the DSU bench doesn't let up. Jake Mastranzi loses his defender, hits the jumper. Now a 50-point lead at 80-30. Delta State goes on to beat Miles 88-36.
I thought we played really well. It's obvious that we've gotten a lot better, and that's the whole deal. You want to continue to improve, and every day out, every game out, every possession, you are working to get better. And I thought the really big deal tonight was, as we started that second half, we told our team, this is an opportunity for us to set the tone for the rest of the week of practice, getting ready for our first conference game. It's extremely important that we come out there in that first 5 minutes, that we dominate this game defensively, and we attack them on the offensive end, and we set the tone for how we're going to practice this week and what we expect this week as we prepare for our first conference game. Obviously, I couldn't ask for any better. I thought we did a tremendous job. The second big key with tonight is these games have a tendency for you to get out of character of who you are because of your opponent. And I'm not trying to degrade Miles in any way whatsoever, but when the score gets to the differential that it was, you have a tendency to do that. I thought our team did a great job of staying in character, staying who we were, and doing what we do. And that's good learning for us, and then the opportunity to play a lot of guys in the game I thought was really good too.
It was another double-double night for big man Willie Reedus. He scored 20 points and pulled down 13 rebounds.
Willie's played really well. It gets a little frustrating for him at times because he's probably fouled every time he touches the ball. But, they're not going to call all those, nor should they call all those. I would be happy if they did. I'm sure Willie would be happy, but that's just not going to happen. And the key is that you play through that, and you don't let that take away from your game. And we had a moment there where there was some frustration built up, but I thought Willie did a really good job of settling in and playing through it and doing a great job of staying in character and who we are. And he ends up having a heck of a game statistically.
Schmidt put up 14 points, and Chisholm had 13, part of 29 points off the bench for the Statesmen. That's one of the good things Coach Boone saw against Miles and wants to see every game.
Something that we'd love to see every night that doesn't have as much to do with execution. Well, it does, because it's getting the right people in the right spots. I thought we shot the ball really well. I thought that Devin Smith played really well. Not just because he shot the ball well, but I thought he handled the ball well. He kept the ball out of trouble for the most part. He did a good job of running his team, and those are the things that we expect out of him. I really like the way that Cornell Knight attacked the glass. We've got to work on finishing, but he did a really nice job of getting the ball to glass to score. And probably, aside from our defense, I thought we did as good a job tonight as we've done all season of running the floor and really adding that element to our game. And that's something that we're doing differently now than we did last year, obviously, and we're excited about it.
The Statesmen scored 10 points off turnovers, another 10 on fast breaks, and 50 points in the paint. When you're pushing the tempo, though, that doesn't mean you can lose control.
You know, I heard this from a coach years ago, and I've used it with our team constantly. You've got to know when to whoa and when to go. And I thought our guys did a really good job tonight of picking and choosing those opportunities.
The Statesmen are now 7-1 on the season and on a 7-game win streak. That feels pretty good going into Gulf South Conference play.
I do. I feel really good. You know, it would be nicer if we were opening at home, but everybody can't do that. And as I told our team, you know, they scheduled us 3 road games to start the season against 2 of the top 3 teams in our league. But that's great. That gives us a chance to go have an opportunity to, I don't want to say steal, because I really like our team and I think that anything we get is earned, but it gives us an opportunity to go earn a win on the road that early on. And so we're excited about the opportunity, and I do believe that what happened here today and how we stayed in character and how we played with great intensity, particularly on the defensive end, will be a good platform for us as we progress and practice through the rest of the week.
Coach Boone has said plenty of times that this team needs to play its game. Staying in character will be important in GSC games.
A lot of times, particularly when you get into conference play, where the talent level is so close, the determining factor is which team can impose their will upon the other. And the greater job you can do of staying in character and playing your game and not allowing your opponent to take you out of that, I believe is a really big key in league play, where, again, the talent level is close and everybody knows exactly what the other guy's doing because of film. So I'm really pleased with our team right now. I think we've made great progress. We have a long way to go, but we know that and we recognize that, and that's important.
DSU out-rebounded Miles 54-24 and held its opponent to 24% shooting from the field. But Coach Boone says there is still plenty to work on before facing Christian Brothers.
Oh, we have a lot to work on. Christian Brothers exposes you defensively as well, if not better, than anybody else in our league. And the biggest thing with them on the defensive end is defensive patience. Everybody always refers to offensive patience. Defensive patience is extremely important, that you're not reaching, you're not gambling, you're not out of position. If you do any of those things, then Christian Brothers takes advantage of that. We're going to have to do a great job of being very disciplined and very patient defensively. And with that being said, they are a team that attacks the arc as well, if not better than any team in our league. And we're going to have to do a great job of defending the arc in that game on Saturday.
With conference action starting even earlier this season, it's time to get ready for the tough schedule ahead.
I'm a big believer in conference games occurring in the second semester. But I do like the fact that our league allowed us to get to the latter part of the first semester before we play any league games. And so I think our guys are ready. I think we're anxious to get started with league play. Again, as we have approached this first part of our year, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. a lot of things are going to happen. There's going to be a lot of water go under the bridge, and the key is that you maintain an even keel. You can't get too high, you can't get too low, because particularly with this team, I think we have a lot of good basketball ahead.
The next game for the Statesmen is Saturday, December 14th at Christian Brothers in Memphis. Tip-off is scheduled for 4 o'clock. For GoStatesmen.com, I'm Katie Smith.
Millions of people grow up in a family of immigrants. But not everyone stops at nothing to reach their dream. Even fewer have the patience, passion, and perseverance to achieve success. A dream is for those who sleep. I live mine. I'm Pitbull, and I'm one of a kind, darling.
Abraham's, in historic downtown Cleveland, has clothed the Delta since 1979. Shirts, sweaters, and khakis by Southern Tide and Polo are favorites on all college campuses. Costa sunglasses with mountain khakis and jeans by Big Star, True Religion, and Silver. Abraham's has a large assortment of the North Face and Patagonia outerwear for men, women, and children. Cole Haan and Tom shoes, plus the finest tie collection in Mississippi. Team up with dress shirts by Polo and Ike Behar. Abraham's carries a large inventory of fine suits and sport coats by Ralph Lauren, S. Cohen, and Abraham's own private label. Abraham's in historic downtown Cleveland.
North Sunflower Medical Center in Ruleville is your full-service healthcare provider. Whether it's an emergency, wound care, daily preventative health screening, swing bed and outpatient rehabilitation, to our outstanding staff and team of surgeons, you'll find we treat the whole you. North Sunflower Medical Center has become the Delta's leader in providing complete, quality medical services to residents and visitors of Sunflower County and beyond. Come by and see why people say, "Take me to Ruleville."
As an economist, I meet with many business leaders who just don't understand the true cost of documents. Unmanaged fleets, dysfunctional workflow, it's chaos. It's profit-killing chaos.
Mississippi-owned and operated, the Image Specialist in Southern Duplicating is Mississippi's only full-line Kyocera dealer. Kyocera's full-line copiers, printer, and faxes offer robust work solutions while offering industry-leading lowest total cost of ownership. Offering rental, leasing, and purchasing options, let the Image Specialist in Southern Duplicating help grow your business.
While the Delta State men's basketball team finished non-conference action at 7-1, it's about the same story for the women, who are 5-1 heading into Gulf South Conference games. The Lady Statesmen finished up early season action on Monday, December 2nd at Payne College in Augusta, Georgia. The women brought home an 86-59 win. The DSU men and women now play games on the same days at the same locations. We've talked about the first 3 games in the GSC being hard for Delta State this season. The very first league game is against rival Christian Brothers in Memphis. Game times are 2 and 4 in the afternoon on Saturday, December 14th, and the Delta State Alumni Association will be hosting an event in Memphis, so all Statesmen and Lady Statesmen fans are encouraged to make the short trip. The basketball teams then turn around and travel to Alabama, playing West Alabama on Thursday, December 19th, and Alabama-Huntsville on Saturday, December 21st. Of course, no conference games have been played yet, but Delta State is currently number 2 in both sets of GSC conference standings because of their overall records. Both teams are also getting some national recognition. In the Week 3 USA Today Sports Division II Top 25 Coaches poll, the Lady Statesmen ranked number 12. On the men's side in the NABC Division II poll, DSU can be found in the receiving votes category. You can keep up to date with everything Statesman and Lady Statesman hoops on our website, GoStatesmen.com. For home games at Walter Sillers Coliseum, there is always a live radio broadcast, video stream, and live stats. You can also keep up on Twitter and Facebook. Just search DSU Statesman. For GoStatesmenTV, I'm Katie Smith.
Abraham's, in historic downtown Cleveland, has clothed the Delta since 1979. Shirts, sweaters, and khakis by Southern Tide and Polo are favorites on all college campuses. Costa sunglasses with mountain khakis and jeans by Big Star, True Religion, and Silver. Abraham's has a large assortment of the North Face and Patagonia outerwear for men, women, and children. Cole Haan and Tom shoes, plus the finest tie collection in Mississippi. Team up with dress shirts by Polo and Ike Behar. Abraham's carries a large inventory of fine suits and sport coats by Ralph Lauren, S. Cohen, and Abraham's own private label. Abraham's Hams in historic downtown Cleveland.
North Sunflower Medical Center in Rouville is proud to announce the addition of board-certified orthopedic surgeon Dr. Wayne Dotson to our team. An orthopedic surgeon treats musculoskeletal trauma, skeletal disease, and sports injuries using both surgical and non-surgical techniques, including joint replacement, arthroscopic surgery, and more. Dr. Dotson has extensive experience in the Delta and beyond, using the latest in surgical techniques when needed to ensure a healthy and speedy recovery. Call or have your provider refer you to Dr. Wayne Dotson for a consultation and find out why more people are saying, "Take me to Rouville."
As an economist, I meet with many business leaders who just don't understand the true cost of documents. Unmanaged fleets, dysfunctional workflow, it's chaos. It's profit-killing chaos.
Mississippi owned and operated, the Image Specialist in Southern Duplicating is Mississippi's only full-line Kyocera dealer. Kyocera's full-line copiers, printer, and faxes offer robust work solutions while offering industry-leading lowest total cost of ownership. Offering rental, leasing, and purchasing options, let the Image Specialist in Southern Duplicating help grow your business.
Millions of girls are told they're pretty, but not many end up becoming a model. Even fewer decide to put their face in front of someone who wants to rearrange it. And now, instead of fighting for a cover shot, I'm fighting for gold. I'm Michaela Mayer, and I'm one of a kind.
Our second inductee this evening is Liberty Cash. Liberty is a native of Memphis, Tennessee, earned 3 letters for the Statesman football team as one of the lead tailbacks for the legendary Coach Horace McCool. Cash was named the team's leading rushing champion in 1964 with 596 yards on 129 carries against a grueling schedule. Cash also had 66 yards receiving and scored 3 touchdowns. Cash was a part of 21 Statesman victories during his 3 seasons here at Delta State against only 8 losses. Cash also served the student body as president of the SGA and secretary-treasurer of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Our next inductee, Mr. Liberty Cash.
Well, to start off with, when I came over to Delta State in 1963, I want everybody to know that that was the best move I ever made in my life. I'm now 70 years old, and I look back on it, and the best move, and repeat myself, but the best move I made in my career was when I transferred from Ole Miss, University of Mississippi, to Delta State University. And I'll never forget the day that I arrived at Delta State in the fall of 1963 and met Coach McCool for the first time, and went on and had practice that day. And back then, under Coach McCool, we were known, Coach McCool's philosophy, and we were known as 3 yards, 4 yards, and a cloud of dust. We didn't really know what a long pass was. And I was a tailback, more so a small fullback than a tailback. And we had, the year that we came over here in 1963, there were several, I think there was 10 of us that came over at one time from the University of Mississippi. And that's what we did. In 63 and 64, it was 4 yards and a cloud of dust. And I remember every time I'd run the football, I remembered that I needed to get at least 4 yards. Because 3 and 4 is 12, and that'd be a first down, okay? And that's what we tried to do. And overall, I think in my career, I did average a little over that. But we ran the ball a lot there for 2 years, and then our senior year, when we really had what I consider a really good football team. When I say that, it was composed mostly of the seniors from Southeastern Conference that had transferred to Delta State University to be with the Statesman and Coach McCool. And we had people from University of Mississippi, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Georgia, just about every school in the Southeastern Conference. And so that's the reason I want everybody to also understand the way I feel about our 1965 team is that we could have played with anybody. Back in 1965, we played teams and beat teams like Tampa, University of Tampa in Florida. They were ranked in Division I college back then, universities. We beat Tampa, we beat Troy State. Our senior year, we beat everybody we played. We played just about all the Louisiana schools except LSU and beat all of them. We lost by 1 point, one ball game at Jacksonville State. Poured down rain all day long, and we just had really a tough football game. And we finally got down to, score was 10-9. We're on the 5-yard line going in. Got time for, it's 3rd down, got time for 2 plays. And we run a play on 3rd down. Coach McCool sending a play. We're trying to get back to the middle of the field so we can kick a field goal. Well, our quarterback, Mike Benson, a good friend of mine who was an outstanding quarterback and passer, he decided that he knew a play that would work, passing play that would work, and we'd go ahead and score a touchdown. Well, we ran the pass play and did not score, okay? So it left us on the 5-yard line, left hash mark. Pouring down rain. Payne Spence came in to kick our field goal from the 5-yard line, left hash mark, and he missed it by 1.5 inches. And we lost that ball game. The clock ran out right then. We lost by 1 point, 10-9. It was the only loss we had that year. And I believe our team in 1965, at that time, could have played with anybody in the Southeastern Conference. This is, out of all the things that I've been through and accomplished in my life, this is number one. Delta State is home, and it always has been since 1963. And it's just like coming home. It's just, when I transferred from University of Mississippi, I felt like before I got here, I was a number, one student out of several thousand. When I got to Delta State, I felt like that I was known by my name, not a number. I was known by my name. I could talk with my teachers, my professors. My teachers and professors cared about me. They would help you any way they can. A perfect example of what I'm talking about is Mr. Ray Wilson, who is going to receive an award here this weekend. He was a math teacher. Even though I did not take math under him, I had a lot of friends that did and got to know him quite well and still do. But Mr. Wilson would go out of his way to help any athlete or anybody else that needed help, but especially athletes, to help them as far as passing math. Now, he wouldn't give them anything, but he would stay after class and he would work with them until they understood what was going on in that math class. And he was one of many that we had then at Delta State that would help you in any way that you needed help. I've got a lot of people at Delta State that I really look up to, and I don't want to start naming names because I know I'll forget somebody. But I was fortunate enough after I graduated, I came back to Delta State and worked with the foundation here at Delta State for 6 years with Coach Boo Ferris and Hugh Ellis Walker. And those are two most outstanding individuals you'll ever meet in your life. Favorite times at Delta State? I have several. Number one, I met my wife at Delta State. If I had not transferred to Delta State in 1963, I never would have met my wife. And we have 3 lovely children and 6 grandchildren and 1 great grandson. So I've met so many friends here at Delta State, teachers and students. I was also a member of the KA fraternity while I was here at Delta State, in addition to being president of the Student Government Association while I was here. And I've got so many memories. I could probably talk to you for days just on the things that we did and the things I really enjoyed. It's just all the difference in the world. I became, and I'm not saying this boastfully, but I became a man at Delta State University. When I came over here, I was a young man, a boy, and I feel like that I came to Delta State and I grew up right here on campus. And I got involved with the football program, the Kappa Alpha fraternity, and student government, and Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I also served 2 years on the Men's Judiciary Committee, was president of that 1 year and vice president the year before that. And the life here on campus is outstanding. And you feel like you belong, and you're at home.
Why did you stick around Cleveland?
Why did I stick around Cleveland? All right, well, I didn't just stick around Cleveland. When I graduated, I taught school and coached for 6 years. I coached at Belzona High School, West Tallahatchie High School, and Hattiesburg Blair High School. After that, I went to work. A lot of people don't know this, but after that, I went to work at the Mississippi State Penitentiary and went there as federal programs coordinator. And after a few years, I moved up to deputy superintendent. And then I was a warden for a while. And then when I left, I was deputy commissioner of institutions in the state of Mississippi. When I left there, I went in the farm equipment business for 6 years, which, you know, I think everything you do has a purpose. Everything that comes your way, things happen to you, and I think everything happens for a reason. And after I left the farm equipment business, I came back to Delta State and worked with the foundation for 6 years and enjoyed that thoroughly. And then while I was at Delta State, I learned how to sell life insurance. We have a program with the foundation where we sell life insurance policies, making Delta State the beneficiary down the road. Well, I got involved with that, and I guess that's the reason and how I finally ended up in the insurance business, selling life insurance, property and casualty, and so forth. And I've been in the insurance business now for 27 years. So because of Delta State, I feel like that I've been very fortunate.
As an economist, I meet with many business leaders who just don't understand the true cost of documents. Unmanaged fleets, dysfunctional workflow, it's chaos. It's profit-killing chaos.
Mississippi-owned and operated, the Image Specialist in Southern Duplicating is Mississippi's only full-line Kyocera dealer. Kyocera's full-line copiers, printer, and faxes offer robust work solutions while offering industry-leading lowest total cost of ownership. Offering rental, leasing, and purchasing options, let the Image Specialist in Southern Duplicating help grow your business.
Millions of people grow up in a family of immigrants. But not everyone stops at nothing to reach their dream. Even fewer have the patience, passion, and perseverance to achieve success. A dream is for those who sleep. I live mine. I'm Pitbull, and I'm one of a kind. Darling.
Abraham's, an historic downtown Cleveland, has clothed the Delta since 1979. Shirts, sweaters, and khakis. My Southern Tide and Polo are favorites on all college campuses. Costa sunglasses with mountain khakis and jeans. My Big Star, True Religion, and Silver. Abraham's has a large assortment of the North Face and Patagonia outerwear for men, women, and children. Cole Haan and Tom shoes, plus the finest tie collection in Mississippi. Team up with dress shirts by Polo and Ike Behar. Abraham's carries a large inventory of fine suits and sport coats by Ralph Lauren, S. Cohen, and Abraham's own private label. Abraham's in historic downtown Cleveland.
The Delta State swimming and diving programs will host their annual Christmas Invitational at the DSU Aquatic Center in Cleveland, December 14th through the 17th. The Statesmen and Lady Statesmen welcome in 7 teams to make it an even 8-team meet. Opponents will be Birmingham Southern, Emmanuel College, Limestone, Lindenwood, Rhodes College, Missouri S&T, and West Florida. The Statesmen and Lady Statesmen are both in the top 50 of the Division II collegeswimming.com polls. One interesting note to this meet, of course, Delta State has one of the best state-of-the-art venues in the country. Meets are normally swam on a 25-meter course, but the pool is actually more than 50 meters long and can be extended to a 50-meter course. This is helpful for international swimmers who need to meet qualifying times to be able to swim on their home country's teams. That has to be done in a 50-meter pool. So, after the DSU Christmas Invitational, swimmers from all participating schools will have the opportunity to be timed swimming the 50-meter course. So swimming and diving fans can find plenty of action in Cleveland December 14th through the 17th. Each day, the meet is an all-day event. For GoStatesmen TV, I'm Katie Smith.